Hello, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Impact Review. I am not going to do these all in a direct order because there's so much to talk about. So I'm going to break it down into different directions. So the first part, I'm going to talk about the opening promo segment. And that had a double, Austin Aries. I liked how Austin Aries came down to the ring with his arm wrapped up. It looked like it was either in a cast or it was heavily taped. He said he could not wrestle. He's not cleared, but he can kick the ass of aces and eights. Bring someone down here, I want to kick him. And while he did this, and I like to say that Austin Aries is doing very good with his promo because now that he's being so well featured, and I hope they keep this up and not let aces and eights angle overwhelm him. In other words, they put more towards aces and eights than him. Now, as he's talking, you have Hulk Hogan, and you're going to have Sting come down the ring, and Hulk Hogan puts over Austin Aries. I like that. Last year, he barely put anyone over, did not put anybody over at all when he was doing the Immortal thing. So having him put Austin Aries and saying basically, you're the head of our company, we're going to be with you, we're behind you, brother. We're right behind you, brother. We're not going to let anyone and get anywhere in our company. That's how I felt it was like. But essentially speaking, that's what he said. And then he said basically the aces and eights, you mess with the company, you mess with the fans, and then you mess with my family, I'm going to get you. This place is going to be blood all over the place. Now, for the two segments of Sting and Hogan, I wish to say that they weren't bad. When it came to Kazarian and it came to Christopher Daniels, that was the first one. I can say that basically chewing out Kazarian and Daniels for what happened with AJ Styles is a good thing. And I like that. And telling them that they're going to really going to find out who they're going to be challenging because he can't stand their damn guts as tag team champions tells me that there might be a match in No Surrender. Pretty much. If that's the next pay-per-view, I think it is No Surrender. I'm hoping that it's going to be a good team. Hard to say who it's going to be. But I'm hoping it'll be a team that's going to be able to run with those belts for a while. Because it's not bad with Kazarian and Daniels, but because they're tied up with AJ Styles, unless AJ is there, they don't want to do it. So I'm hoping with that. When it comes to Joseph Parks and that segment, and Joseph Parks saying, let me try and find aces and eights. I'll find out who it is. They've broken the law on several occasions, and so many broken laws, I can get them good. Let me be the one to go after them. Let me loose. And Hulk says, hunt them down. Two things I noticed. I didn't mind the segment, especially that they're doing something with Joseph Parks since they're not doing anything with Bully Ray. And I have seen several videos where some people have said, you wonder if Abyss is part of Aces and Eight or is he the leader. This also ties into it because since now they say James Storm is not that part of Aces and Eight, this makes it very good. The next thing I noticed with Abyss is breathing. Now, I've never been very big on TNA until like a couple of years ago, but I don't know if he had the same type of problem with his breathing because in the ring you can see him breathing extremely heavy, and I'm wondering if there's a problem with his lungs or something. So I'm hoping he's alright, and if this is natural, it kind of feels a little, makes me kind of nervous for the guy. Next, you have the first match of the night. You have RVD, and then you have James Storm. Match was okay. Wasn't very long. Maybe about 8 minutes, maybe 9. And I didn't expect RVD to do the job, but he does. And I thought that was great. RVD has always been prominently featured. Everyone knows that Hulk Hogan likes him. But having James Storm be the one that was put over in this and being the head, I think he's 73 in the BFG series, is great. That makes me really happy to see him like that. Because you don't know if he's going to be the winner or not. If he's the winner, that's great. Because then you're going to have an interesting situation where maybe you can bring back Robert Roode that will mess him up going up against Austin Aries. Now, I can say also with the match that afterwards with Christy Hemme, I like that they're still doing this bit about interviewing afterward. I hope they allow Christy Hemme to do this more often while they do really prominent storylines after the matches, because it gives them more depth to the show. I really believe the show really needs this, because they don't do that often, not in WWE, not in TNA. Let these people talk right after the match. They usually let them walk away or they have a fight afterwards. I want to hear them talk, especially if they're good talkers. Now, we have Gut Check. Gut Check, I believe, is a very good segment. In all the different people they allowed in or they have denied. Now, to this time, they have Chris Lewis. Now, I saw a little bit of it. Unfortunately, I couldn't see all of it because I was basically wiped out because of all the places I have to run around. But essentially, he wasn't that bad when he went up against Gunner. But let's be honest, I think he needs a little more work in OVW if they're going to send him there or if he's still there. And with Pritchard and Snow, where they seem to already made their minds up, and Taz says, I'm going to try to keep an open mind because even though I did make my mind up, I'm trying to keep an open mind what he's done. He's shown older videos instead of something really recent. He doesn't look like he's in great shape, but he does look like he does have potential. I believe that they were giving a good dynamic there. And when it came to the actual Gut Check, and when they were all in the ring with Louis, when Pritchard and Taz said no, I didn't feel that bad that he didn't get it, even though they did show his wife and kid, if that really is his wife and kid, if it is. I still believe that he really didn't have enough for the ring yet. And maybe next year they could try again. I would not mind having Louis come back again. But the thing that was interesting for the segment, when Taz, Pritchard, and Snow left, Taz was off to the other side by the time this happened with Joey Ryan. I like this with Joey Ryan. I wish it could be with Taz, but unfortunately since Taz has a broken neck, he really can't perform anymore. He just can't. It's too dangerous for him. So having Snow do it is a great thing. Snow has always been known to be good in the ring. His gimmick with his bobbing head, I have seen it a couple of times back in the 90s when he was in ECW, and he go like this, but it is so damn funny, and I liked it. It was different, it was creative, and having Snow work with Ryan when they finally do it, maybe they'll start it by, I believe No Surrender is the next pay-per-view. That'll be good if they just start it. It doesn't mean it has to be an actual match. Now the next thing is Samoa Joe and AJ Styles. Good match. I really liked the match. It was almost the best match out of the night. But I'm not going to say that which one it is yet. But AJ Styles and Samoa Joe was really good. Seeing AJ Styles do submission, he doesn't usually do it, and I enjoyed that. Seeing him do a variation in his technique, particularly that this situation required it if he wanted to make it into the top 5. And when he lost to Joe by a roll-up, I was happy. Seeing Joe being more prominently featured, where almost a year or so ago when the BFG series started, not only was he dead last, he was negative. They gave him really crappy storylines with Crimson. And then, worse when it came to the Pope. Oh, that was terrible with the Pope. You thought it was going to be something interesting. It was a flop. I really wanted Joe to be treated better. And let's say this time they did a good job. They're getting him up there. And if he wins, I wouldn't have a problem with it. I'm really happy about it. And since Christopher Daniels and Kazarian did not come out, it made it even better. Last match for the BFG series was Hardy and Angle, which, let's be honest, that was the match of the night. It was that damn good. How many times they tried to do pinfalls on each other, and it took 2 swantons to beat Kurt Angle, and a couple of knees to the belly. I can say Kurt sold it very well. And from the original promo that he did, where he said simply, and I'm putting it in here, his promo was, I have to win. This is my life. This is my all. Made sense when the promo was done into this, because he looked like he was crying. He looked like he was so broken up. And that's good. What they're going to do with him now, because really he's done with the BFG series, he has no more matches, it's okay. And I like this. Now, okay, the one that I'm going to say is not enjoying. You have, oh wait a minute, I should do that second. The first one is ODB with Eli. Now I wish to say right now, I'm not totally fond of this storyline, but it's good to see they have variation in the storylines they have. When you're running a promotion, and I see a lot of people, how can I say this for the ROH people? In ROH, they have only one style. It's limiting. If you don't work on your characters of your people and your storyline to a wide range of audience, you never get anywhere. That's the reason why ROH is not even third place. It just doesn't feel like it's even third. It's like a ninth place. Not saying you don't have great talent. Look at Kenny King. He's a great talent. But they just don't let him shine. Because they have to restrict how ROH is. Because if it's so tag team orientated and high risk so much, it limits who you want to see your products. And having ODB being in this type of storyline, it's okay. And I'm not fond of it, but it is alright. That makes me happy. And she says with Eli, I've been waiting for my food, I've been waiting for my beer, and I've been waiting for you. I'm getting sick of this. If you don't call me in 10 minutes, we're done. But let's be honest, like most women, they're not done. They'll keep giving the guy a chance, giving the guy a chance, giving the guy a chance, if they're one of those sweet women. But in this case, she called him an hour later, came out of a man's bathroom, and I'm thinking, interesting. Especially when she said on the phone, Eli, I just came out of a man's bathroom, kind of nice in there, and I'm getting tired of this. I'm going to give you until next week. I'm bored. I've been opening doors for people. You better be there. I'm wondering what type of doors is she talking about. Is she talking about opening doors? And it's obvious. It's not the opening doors to be like a gentle woman. It's not opening doors of the legs. Yeah, especially with those, those some big boobs, man. You could drink those boobs for a year and not be tired of them. That's one of the reasons why ODB is interesting. The other one is that she's actually a good wrestler. She's pretty good. She also knows how to do character work. She's not bad. And I really wish they would do something more prominent with her, as well as Eli. Because Eli, I've seen a couple of videos of him where he really, when he wants to be serious, he's very serious. But they make him a joker so much. Sometimes he needs, look at Santino Marella. He is always joking around, but they do once in a while let him have a serious storyline. That's what Eli needs. And that's what also ODB needs. Now the next is a match in the knockouts where Madison Rayne, Madison Rayne, I'm going to say this clearly, Madison Rayne is doing what Kelly Kelly is doing. There's no other way that it can be explained. She's got to be sucking something, or when ODB was talking about opening doors, she got to be opening some doors. Because let's be honest, Madison Rayne does not have my skills. Madison Rayne has very bad ring work. Madison Rayne has very bad presence and charisma. Because let's be honest, as a wrestler, male or female, makes no difference. You have to have a look, you have to have charisma, you got to have mic skills, you got to be able to tell a story, and you got to have some ring presence. Men and women, it's exactly the same. She don't got it. And she's got to be doing something behind. So, Cameron Terrell, I've been messing this up trying to do this. Cameron Terrell is a nice addition to exchanging Earl Hebner for her. For the simple fact that having this variation for the knockouts, you're trying to bring in more men. And some women, there are women that like women, trying to bring them in, having a very old man there that doesn't always seem to hit on them until when it came to Madison Rayne, where I still think she's doing something, just isn't appealing enough. Having Terrace Terrell there, if I'm pronouncing her name right, makes it better. And with this match, I'll make it simple. Rayne was told by Brooke Hogan, you got a match. She thought it was Miss Tessmacher. It was ODB. ODB squashed the crap out of her, which was good. The thing I liked about it was not only was short, ODB spits in her face with whatever's in that flask, which that's cool. And you think it was over, but then Eli comes down the ring with a bucket of chicken, dressed in a suit, and a keg of beer, which is a small one. I think it might have been Heineken. I'm not a drinker, but I recognize that kind of stuff. And he basically says, I'm sorry, I've been to Hollywood, I got a show going on, but I'm here now, we're together. He grabs her to leave the ring, and she says, no, you're not my Eli. And who are you? This isn't the man I married. And she's talking about being in a suit. And I thought, oh no, she's not going to say he's got to strip naked or into his tighty-whities, and basically he does. But get this. Like I said, having variation in your product, everybody inside that arena, inside the Impact, basically was cheering for them. They were cheering. That means even though many people who are marks or smart marks, a lot of them don't like this gimmick, this storyline, it still appeals to the casual fan. And that's one of the people they have to basically tailor some of their show to. And that's a good thing. And now we have finally, as I said, with Jeff Hardy and Angle, you have Bully Ray, you have RVD, you have Samoa Joe, and you have James Storm. These are your 5 people that's going to basically be at the end of the BFG series. Next week, you've got Bully Ray, and you got RVD, and you have Hardy and Joe. Storm is immune because he's in first place. But the thing is, that doesn't mean he's going to stay there because Joe still has one more match left. So if he wins this, he can jump over Lance Storm. If he gets at least a 10, maybe. At least a 10. There's still a chance for him. No, I could be wrong. He comes up in second place. So he may actually challenge Samoa Joe if he does win another match. Now, after this was over, you had everyone come out of the Impact back locker room near the ring. No, wait a minute. I'm sorry. You had Austin Aries come out first. My mistake. Austin Aries comes out first, and he said, I want Aces and Eights to come out here. Then the Impact crew comes out, and they stand and wait. When Aces and Eights comes out from the stands, which was very good, they didn't come from the back, like the WWE did with, look at CM Punk. That was a stupid thing. He should have came out from the crowd instead of coming out from the back. But Aces and Eights came out from the crowd, sent one of their people in. Austin Aries started kicking his butt, and then there was a free-for-all. Everyone got involved. You see Hulk Hogan with a rubber bat whacking people, and I could see it's rubber because you can see that sucker just go that was really funny. But during the match, well, not during the match, during the fight with Austin Aries and another person in there, someone jumps onto the ring apron, puts on a mask, and goes in. And then whacks him behind the head. I think someone said it was a flapjack. That was a piece of steel wrapped up in leather, and knocks Austin Aries out, and he's laid out completely. And that's how Impact ends. But I wish to put this towards the YWC. The person that looked like they got on the ring apron was Garrett Bischoff. It looked like Garrett. So I'm thinking, because they said that person wasn't wearing a mask, he just put it on. It looked like Garrett. So the question is, could this be a father and son thing with Eric coming back? Or could this actually be, if they did this, which I don't think they did, which would be slick, they showed Garrett being a good guy. They showed Garrett caring about doing the right thing, being trained by Hulk Hogan, then bashing his dad and beating the crap out of him, and trying to prove his worth, and then working with Devon and doing a couple of matches with him. What happened if this was a farce? Because they want to make him be part of Aces and Eights, and he may not be the one that's behind it, but be a part of it. That would be a nice twist, because right now Garrett wasn't really seen that much unless he was with Devon, and they usually had him paired up with either you had maybe Gunner most of the time with Eric, or it might have been Robbie E and Robbie T, because since Devon was dealing with them, could that be that? Could Garrett Bischoff be a part of Aces and Eights, or be the head of it? Or could it also be the Abyss? Don't know. So this is still a very interesting storyline, as long as they do not drop it like they did with the Nexus. This is what I'm saying right now. With the Nexus, it was a disaster. You had Wade Barrett, who was doing great with the Nexus, and then they just did something stupid and funky with the storyline, and it just died. If Aces and Eights is like an offshoot of that, the TNA version of it, if they do it properly, not ram it down our throats, and make some of the people prominent on there who have skill, because all the people that was in the Nexus had barely no skill at all. But if they do it right, this could be good, as long as they don't shove it down our throats like they did with Immortal. So this is my idea of it. You got a C+ show. I think it was at least C+ or B-. C or B-. That's what my view of this is. So I hope you enjoyed this show. Not show, I'm sorry. It's kind of late for me. It's late at night. I've been very busy. So I hope you like this review. Sorry about that. I hope you like this review. Subscribe and comment. And as you can see, this review is quite long. I could never do a long review because my account was locked. But now it's unlocked, and now I can do much longer reviews. I hope you like this. Have a good night, ladies and gentlemen.